They told me do it for the city, so I gotta go and get it. See, I'm focused and committed, live, yeah. And I'ma bring it back with me. If it ain't about money, ain't no sense with it, live, yeah. They told me do it for the city, so I gotta go and get it. See, I'm focused and committed, live, yeah. And I'ma bring it back with me. If it ain't about money, ain't no sense with it, live, yeah.
Everybody, welcome back. I Do It For My City, the podcast.
Yeah.
We are here today with our guest, Mr. Atria. How you doing, Atria?
I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you for having
Eric
me.
Atria.
Yeah.
Eric Atria.
We say Atria, but you're close enough.
Atria?
That's what we say, but you're close enough.
Atria.
Some people call me Atari. It's just as long as
Not the game console.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's old school.
Yeah.
Okay. And first, outside of the guests, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm CEO DL. Ronnie.
I'm Ronnie Works.
Driller the beat killer.
Let me
What's
take my
happening?
shades off. Hold on. I'm too cool for words right now. We getting down to business right now.
Yeah, man. We're down to business. So, Atria. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from, and how'd you get started?
Hold on, D. But for those who don't know,
Right.
Atria am I saying that right?
Yeah, you got it.
He is running for county judge in Alachua County.
That's right.
You are currently a public defender.
Yes.
Okay, so he is a public defender, and he's looking to run, and this is us getting to know him as a community because we haven't. I mean, the only thing that we know about Mr. Eric is that that viral situation that happened. We're gonna dive into that, but like Dee was saying, if you wanted to go ahead and explain, like where you come from,
Sure,
how you got into law, just give us a background.
Sure. So I grew up in South Florida, Hollywood, near Fort Lauderdale. My dad was a public defender. He went to law school later in life. So I remember being 8 years old when he got sworn in. He was a public defender for 28 years. And so what he always taught me and my brother was that you take care of people in your community. You use your gifts to help. And think about South Florida in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
He could have made $1 million as a lawyer, but he worked as a public defender his whole career. And that sunk in subconsciously. Mm-hmm. So I go to college, University of Miami, 1997 is when I started there. And as I was going through, I didn't plan to be a lawyer or go to law school. It just kind of came to me halfway through. There was a beautiful professor there named Martin Siegel who just inspired everybody. He was a wonderful human being, somebody that I emulate as much as I possibly can, just a mentor. Mm-hmm. And so because of him, I went to law school. At the time, she was my girlfriend, but I knew we were gonna stay together. We still are, 27 years later. I wanted to do veterinary school. There's only one school in the state that does both. It's right in this town. And so we moved to Gainesville. I did law school, she did veterinary school, and then we just fell in love with the community and we never left. And so when it came time to figure out what I was gonna do with my law degree, I had the model of my dad. I started as a public defender, and my first 4 years were in Ocala, because at the time you couldn't get a job here. Mm-hmm. The market has changed so much over my 21-year career. It's either the public defenders and state attorney's office cannot keep people, or they cannot hire people. It's feast or famine in the public sector world, depending on how the economy's doing. Uh-huh. So that's why I worked in Ocala for 4 years.
Okay.
That was a very, very rough place to learn. It was the most punitive county in the country at the time, one of them, probably top 5 as far as how they punished people for the perceived crimes they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Can you kind of like dive into that, like as far as
Sure.
What do you mean by that? Because we know this particular area is kind of harsh on crime. We in the South, let's be real.
Yeah.
So can you kind of like dive into that for me, please?
Okay. I was in front of a judge in Ocala, my first felony judge. If I had an 18-year-old girl, this is back when the internet it's mid-2000s. Mm-hmm. So the Nigerian prince scams. So remember those emails? You're like, I need your help cashing these checks. Yeah. I had a young girl. She was 18 years old. Okay. She fell for it. Oh. And so she was cashing these checks. She'd get $50 or $10 or whatever the percentage was, and she got arrested. And the particular judge I was in front of was like, well, she should go to prison. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about jail. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about probation. I'm talking Department of Corrections. Right. An 18-year-old girl, no record, never been in trouble in her life. And this particular judge he was hell-bent on punishing property crimes. Mm-hmm. And I just remember just not being able to comprehend that there's a man who thinks that this young girl should go to prison for this.
Right.
not just be like, hey, that
For
was a stupid-
cashing checks because
Yeah.
she fell for a scam.
Yeah, like, ma'am, young man.
Yeah.
Young ma'am. Young man, this was foolish for you to fall for. Why
Right.
didn't you think more? Like, it was easy money, but easy money's not, teach her a lesson.
Right.
I'm going to give you some probation.
Okay.
And you're going to work and pay this money back.
Right.
Right.
No, he was like, prison. And it's like, whew.
How long?
So if I remember correctly, I think I was able to convince that judge to not send her to prison.
Okay.
But he wanted her to do it probably a year.
Okay. Okay.
And so I just remember it was baptism by fire is what we called it. I'm still close friends with all the attorneys I worked with all those years ago because we all went, you know what they call it when like people share a trauma and you bond over it?
Trauma bond.
You know what I mean?
Trauma bond.
Yeah, like that's what we all did down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And we just kind of accepted that that's the way it was. Mm-hmm. And then I transferred up here in 2009.
Okay.
And when I first came here, I remember it was much easier here.
Really?
Yes.
So it's a vast difference between
In my
Ocala
opinion,
Gainesville
and
at
many,
that time.
and I think it still is.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
But-
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you don't want to go to jail in Marion County.
Yeah,
No.
no. County something.
No.
want to go to jail.
It was a big difference. So when I came up here, I worked for I was the public defender. Up here, I worked for a different agency, same job.
Okay.
But it's like if you and I went over and stole some food from Ward's and we both got arrested,
Yeah.
the same law firm can't represent both of us.
Right.
So
It's a
I go to the
conflict of
public defender, you go to the office that I worked for.
Right.
So I worked for that office for 16 and a half years.
Okay. Okay.
And then you mentioned a minute ago the viral video, I guess,
Yeah.
it made court TV. I don't know.
we gonna dive into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I think Driller. I'm gonna let him do that because
We'll talk about that later.
he's gonna do
That's
that.
fine. But that to me, so I worked my job. I cared about my job. I did my job, but I stayed in my lane. You know,
Mind your business, keep your head down.
Yeah, raised my kids.
Yeah.
But so that was my turning point, that incident. We could talk about that later if you want to bring it up later. But that's kind of what brings us to that moment in time. Was I felt calling to do this type of work. I like fighting the man. Mm-hmm. You know, I like fighting for the little man.
Okay.
Right,
You know,
right, right.
like there's something about that I think is arguably more patriotic than being the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Underdog.
Something
Underdog.
about
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's this David and Goliath.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
you're
we all go for the underdog.
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
go for the underdog.
So those are the type of things, and especially when you get a case where you know you can win, or you get a case where you know, look, and I'm not trying to like take one side or the other because you have to be neutral when you're trying to do what I'm doing now.
Right.
There's a spectrum in everything. There's good and bad in
Right.
everything, right?
Right.
But like when you have a case, I'm teaching a class at UF right now. It's a criminal law class that I developed with another professor,
Okay.
and we kind of walk through the criminal justice system from arrest to resolution and all the issues in between. So we're doing Fourth Amendment right now, search and seizure.
Okay.
And so, and again, so I was actually speaking to the Fraternal Order of Police the other night, and I was saying to them, like, I tell my students, we want good police. Like, that's,
Right.
like, if there's trouble, the first person I'm going to call is the cops because we need help. So I want good police. I want them to learn just like I'm teaching the students. But there are obviously outliers. And the particular outlier I have, and I'm going to use as an example of why I do what I do, is I had a case where it was a traffic stop, just a routine traffic stop. And they take the man out of the car. They assist him out of the car.
Define assist, because
We all know what that means.
Oh, okay.
And then they pat him down, which they're allowed to do for weapons, weapons only, right? And they feel something in his nether regions. That's not a weapon. And they suspect that it's narcotics.
Right.
And so what they do
What did they do?
is they take the man, grown man, and you can imagine that he's a black man.
Of
Not
course,
imagine, but you can assume that
Okay.
he's a black man.
Right.
They take his pants off and they cut his underwear. He's got boxer briefs with a knife while he's wearing them to retrieve, because he's not letting them search him. 'Cause He doesn't have to let them search him.
Right.
Right.
He has
Those are his rights.
He has a right.
Right.
They cut his underwear with a knife, and then and to be fair, it was drugs. But I'm saying the point is this is the government
Violating a man, more or less.
emasculating a man,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
taking his clothing off, and then going in the most sensitive part of any of our bodies,
Right.
and using a weapon to access suspected contraband. Because at that time, it's just suspected, and that made me so mad.
Yeah, it puts you in the mind of
Yeah.
castration or something.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And you the history. I mean,
we know. Yeah, go
yes.
ahead. You can run down the history.
Sure, we could spend the whole other podcast.
Bull breaking.
But so
all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
My point of it all is, I am going to file that motion to suppress every day of the week.
Okay.
Because to me, that's an egregious violation.
It is. It is.
Of everything.
It is.
And in that we didn't win it. Believe it or not, I did not win that one. The judge didn't think it was a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
That's crazy.
But to me, it was like, I needed that man to at least know that I was going to go to the mat for him, because that to me was BS. That was just.
Yeah.
So that's why I do what I do for those types of cases, because somebody who ends up in that scenario cannot afford the boutique criminal defense lawyers in town.
Right.
I'm not going to rattle off names, but
Right.
there's some lawyers in town who are very good, very expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
And
But
not
they're
everybody-
also very expensive.
Not everybody can afford them.
Right.
So
Right.
I love knowing, this is my favorite thing, because you probably know there's a distrust of the public defender in most communities.
They
absolutely.
call them public pretenders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, believe me, I've heard that plenty.
Yeah.
What I love
Yes.
is when I have a client who doesn't trust me and we're at trial, and the minute, because jury selection's first.
Right.
And I sit down from jury selection and you can just feel them be like, okay. Because they see like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you're never going to gain that trust until people see you
Right.
in the arena,
Right.
And so I love those moments when somebody actually like relaxes and lets me do what I do, because it's, again, that's my goal, is to be honest and transparent with my client.
Right.
And so sometimes I might say to somebody, hey, this is a bad case. We may not want to go to trial. I'm not trying to convince you to do something you want to do, but I want to avoid the risk. But if we're in it and I'm I love when people see, again, okay, this dude can fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to me, that's the most vindicating part of my job for the past 21 years, was that exact little moment.
So you've seen your father in this role, and I'm assuming that because you are a public offender, you're, like you said earlier, you're not getting the millions and
Correct.
in the thousands. You're really, technically, you work for the county. Like, you're not. Is it the county that you work for technically?
I was a state employee.
State, okay.
I resigned to run, so I'm not. I resigned in January,
Gotcha.
but it was a state job.
Okay,
yes.
so you work for the state. So your job, you have to do it for the passion. It's not necessarily something that you're doing for the money.
Exactly.
Got you.
You have to believe in the mission of it.
Got you. Okay. So when you look, we have so many questions because I know that we are minorities. You're running for judge, and we have issues when it comes to, we don't trust that, the law has our best interest in mind, regardless of whether we are, clean record wise or we're not. We as a Black as a whole, when the police come, we not participating in anything because,
Sure.
Systematically history has shown that they don't necessarily have our mindset, our best interest at heart. You know what I'm saying? If we look at the history of the police really was created to, find and bring, runaway slaves back home. You know what I'm saying? Back to the plantations. So for us, it's deep rooted. And then on top of that, we're from the South. And I don't know if you could tell, I am pro my people. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And there are, judges, and I know we're not gonna say no names, that, my people are very, very, when they go in front of them, they already know that, it's going down. They going home for a long time, regardless of what that crime may be. So and I know you have to be voted in office, is that correct? You have
Correct,
to be voted.
yes.
So what would make you different from what's currently, what we face in Gainesville?
That's a
when it
valid
comes to
question.
that?
Sure. And one of the great experiences of knocking on doors is I was knocking on this family's door a couple nights ago. It was a young Black family, and they're just like, in a polite, friendly way, but they were grilling me. And they're like, if we support you, we're going to come tell you, you were on my doorstep telling me this. So
Right.
tell me
Right.
tell me what you're going to do.
Right.
And I was happy to have the question. So this is, first of all, it's county court.
Mm-hmm.
So while you can find yourself covering anything, it's misdemeanors.
Right.
So it's not a platform where you would even be able to like throw the book at somebody.
And what's that called?
Felonies, that's circuit court.
Circuit court.
Yeah. So what I could tell you, and the kind of takeaway I've had over the years, because especially this has been in my mind, this plan for a couple of years now. So while I was working actively, and I'd be in a certain courtroom seeing how a judge was doing this or that, I would silently be filing things away in the want to do and the not want to do if I win, right?
Yeah.
So I had a young man, he was 18. He and his friend were car hopping. You know, you go in a parking lot at night and you try all the door handles and you steal some stuff. And I don't know if they stole it or they didn't, but they were in a vehicle with all the stolen stuff.
Right.
Oh.
So whether they stole it or not, it doesn't look good.
Right.
And it's just stuff. It's petty stuff. You know, it's not like they hurt anybody. It's not like anybody's like life savings was lost because of it. But still, it's a bunch of burglary conveyances. And what he did between getting arrested and coming to court was he finished high school.
Okay.
He enrolled in Santa Fe.
Okay.
He had 2 jobs lined up.
Oh, wow.
He had his mom and his grandmother in court with him to say, we're going to guarantee you that he's going to get to every appointment. He's going to make every payment. We're going to be his backup, his insurance, and his support system. And the state wanted him to go to jail for a year, followed by probation.
Oh, wow.
And to me, that was a little excessive.
Overkill, yeah.
So you have certain opportunities to try to negotiate as a defense attorney. They don't always work. And none of them worked. And so our next opportunity is to go to the judge and say, Judge, the state wants this, but we want that. Why don't you give us what's fair, what we're asking for? And we argued, I told the judge what I just told you. Judge disagreed, sent him to jail for a year.
Oh, wow.
And then followed by probation. And so there's 2 things happen in that moment. Number one, personally, I was like, I don't want to be the guy begging anymore.
Right.
It makes sense.
Because I know what's fair here.
Right.
Number 2, look at what that kid did between getting in trouble and coming to court. He put a concrete plan in place.
Right.
Things that I think all of us could objectively see as, okay, he realized he did wrong.
Right.
What's he going to do right,
Right.
to fix it?
Right.
And now we're taking him away for a year. And
For him
now
to
he's got to come.
rebuild his
And
life.
they convicted him too. He's a convicted felon now.
Yeah.
No.
See, that's
So now he's going to come back.
Life completely
Santa Fe may not take him now. Those jobs might not take him. And so to me, that was the ultimate failure of an opportunity.
Right.
And let's
Right.
be clear, like people who, like the guy who hit me in the head, that dude needs to go away forever. Like, I'm sorry, but there's some violent crimes
I
that
have so many questions.
so listen.
that I can't tell you I'm going to be soft on if that happens. But this young man, to me, this is the kid who deserved a second chance.
Right.
And I have these students that 2 of my students were doing something that the co-professor was like, we need to give them a 0. I'm like, oh, let's talk to them. Like, let's just talk to them first. Let's see why they did what they did.
Yeah.
And then after we talked to them, I was like, look, I'm going to give you one more chance. And if you can't do it with the one more chance, then you're going to have to get a 0. And those 2 students now have stepped up.
Right.
And so for me, it's like most people, I think, assume they're going to get by or get a pass until they get caught.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And you're not really going to step up until somebody makes you.
Right.
Some people,
Right.
right? Oops, sorry. So give them that chance. But if you do it twice, then it's like, all right, listen,
Right.
I gave you that
Yeah.
chance. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but now it was on you.
Right.
Right.
Now it's a pattern.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So to me, I think witnessing that for 21 years, the other thing I'll say to you is this: that young man I talked about came with his mom and his grandma. I had, I'm trying to think. It was I don't remember if it was, there was a hit and run. It was, nobody knew who was driving the car, but they knew what car it was. There was 3 people in the car, and the victim was in a fraternity at UF. He had 120 people come to court because that's the type of network that he has. Literally 120 people came to court. And so the way I always say it is, and I'm trying to say things as clearly as possible without making it sound, I'm just going to say him, okay?
Say it.
So he was a young Jewish
Say
man,
it. Okay.
college
Okay.
student.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But that's all
because-
you had to say.
But because
we
he's
get it.
privileged
Yeah.
and educated
Yeah.
and has means, everybody was able to come to court that day.
Right.
So when I see a young guy,
You can say it.
a young black guy, come,
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
his
You
whole
say how you want to say it on
Just
here.
say it. Like
straight up.
we gonna cuss eventually. We gonna say it. Just say it.
his whole family can't come to court. His whole neighborhood can't come to court.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they don't support him.
Right.
Right? So what I perceive is maybe a judge seeing this young man standing there by himself and seeing him as a failure because nobody came
Nobody.
stand next to them.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah.
Just because I speak to families, that's one of my big things all the years is I return to every call. Mom, aunt, fiance, whatever you have, I would call everybody back. So I know that there's people in the community that care about these young guys.
Right.
They just may not be able to make it down to the courthouse.
Right.
And sometimes court takes like 3-4 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just like you're in there for a minute.
Right.
So I think understanding that, hey, this guy does have a support group. You just don't see them.
Right.
But they exist.
Right.
Is something that, again, it hit me, again, as I was kind of formulating this plan. I was like, well, what are you going to perceive from the other side of this podium?
Right.
You know, what are you going to be looking for? And I think those are two of the examples I could tell you, I think, color my perspective.
Okay. I don't mean to be rude, but since we already done brought race into it, what is your nationality?
Sure. So my mom is 100% Syrian.
Really?
My dad's Italian.
Okay.
So we're very Mediterranean.
I got the Italian vibe from you.
Sure.
It's the skin tone.
I've been out knocking doors 4 or 5 days a week. That's why I'm so tan right now.
Yeah, it's definitely the skin
My
tone.
son gets the same. He's we tan up real nice. So.
I was just curious because I've seen the skin tone.
Yeah, but Atria is Italian, but my mom's family came over from Syria in the early 1900s.
Okay.
And went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine being in straight up Arabic and ending up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the 1910s.
Yeah.
What would you think?
That's
so
a
let
bad.
me-
Go ahead,
So
boss.
let me ask you this: what you say you've been doing the attorney thing for 20 or something years? 21 years, right? Why
21.
Why is now the time to become the judge?
That's a good question. So, two things I want to tell you about. Before we started recording, the young man over there, he was kind of asking the same question.
Oh, okay.
And I said, I'm turning 47 in a week.
Okay.
Is this all I'm going to do?
Valid.
That's one of the things. Like,
Yeah.
So a lot of it comes out of getting hit in the head, that whole experience, and we can go into that when you want to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
don't get there.
two things. Number one,
there.
and I tell this to my students, when you do the same career in the same small town, everybody you grew up with in that career ends up being in charge. You know, they become the state attorney.
Right.
They become the public defender. They
Right.
become the circuit judge. They become the
Right.
county judge. They
Right.
become the clerk of courts. You know, they become the sheriff. They become
Right.
whatever. And you're like, wait a minute, like I know all these people. Like, what?
Right.
But it's just because we're becoming that generation, right?
Right.
And so we have 5 county judges, and I think there's 20 some circuit judges. All right, like 85 to 90% of them have been appointed, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they're also elected positions,
Right.
and so nobody ever challenges the appointments, really.
Right.
And so a
Right.
couple years back, we had a couple appointments, and I think there's nothing against them as human beings or as people or as judges or as lawyers, but it kind of hit me. I was like, most people wait for these seats to open up to run, but I'm just going to run.
Right.
I put my name in too to get
Oh,
appointed in 2024.
Okay.
There's two. I don't know. There's Judge Green was one, and Judge Jaworski were the 2 judges. They both retired back to back.
You know, Green.
Go ahead. But didn't
Green.
Didn't
Nah,
he pass
y'all,
away?
yeah. Y'all,
Forgive
you can
me,
tell you,
did he
but
pass
man,
I don't know.
He did pass away.
yeah,
I was like, I know he passed away.
Yeah.
He
yeah,
passed away a
but
while ago.
yeah,
He's a black judge.
Yes.
yeah. Green
He
was
Green was
black,
Patrick. He
but he
passed
wasn't one. He was one of them ones too, bro. Like he'll send your ass up that road.
He was strict. He was definitely strict. I'll give him that.
So anyway, I put my names in for those, and obviously I didn't get appointed. And so
Okay, go ahead.
I think obvious reasons. It's the governor chooses the appointment, and so I'm a pretty outwardly and publicly I'm a pretty neutral person. Like I get along with everybody. I try
Right.
to, especially in this town. It's too small.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you're saying that the governor. So is it more so like favoritism towards a similar political party, more or less?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
You can say that if you like.
Okay.
Fact.
Okay.
Respect.
So if I want to word this without getting anybody in trouble. So if the governor is a specific political party, it's safe to say that if he is giving appointments to a particular judge, it would be more along the lines of someone who's like-minded.
I think that's how American politics works.
Okay.
Right.
I just want to make sure.
But that being said, like after trying twice, I was like, well, I don't think this is my path. And so what hit me though was my daughter, she was I think 11 at the time. She told me, she's like, why don't you just go earn it? Why don't you just go work for it?
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to just
Yeah.
get, it's a handout kind
Right.
of, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's a handout. I mean, there's a merit base to it. Like you still have to go through a vetting process.
Right.
I'm not trying to take away anything from those people who
Right.
get appointed. But what I'm saying is that this is Alachua County
Yeah.
and there's an
Yeah.
election if somebody runs.
Right.
Right.
So I kind of said, let me see what happens if I run. And so I put my name in to challenge the last governor's appointment in 2024. And he almost, he moved sideways into a different race. That's the way I'll phrase
Okay.
it. So he's in a circuit race. He stepped out of the race. So what I did was I created an open seat. And so I was unopposed for like 4 months. And so when I would go I talked to a lot of student groups at UF.
Okay.
And so I would tell him, I was like, take a chance, but also you got to show up. I heard Questlove say this, and he goes, people are like, how do you get all these gigs? Why are you involved in everything? He's like, because I show up.
That's it.
He's like, and when you
That's
show
it.
up, there's only 4 other people showing up.
That's it.
All the time. And so
That's
you
it.
need somebody next week at the thing,
I'm down.
you're going to call him.
Right.
Because he shows up.
Because he going to be there.
So I
on time.
always tell the students, and then leading into when I was still unopposed, I would say, look what happened by me showing up. Like I'm currently unopposed in a judicial election, which was insane. But then somebody else entered, which is fine because I'd rather go out and earn it.
Right.
I don't want to go in unopposed because
Right.
it'd be easy.
But it don't feel the same.
But I'm having a lot of fun, and I wouldn't be doing this. I would never have met any of you.
Right.
I wouldn't have
Right.
worked with your mom. I wouldn't have knocked on that door I told you about the other night.
Right.
Right.
So I think we got off the topic of the question you
It's
asked me.
fine.
But
It's fine.
We to the
why now? Why now? So
Yes.
I got my son over there. He's going to come do a cameo in a minute. But the way I say it is, look, without putting an angle on this comment, a lot of people complain about where things are right now in our country, in our community, whatever. And so at some point he's going to say, what did you do about it, Dad?
Right.
And I'm going to be like, well, I ran for something.
Right.
Because I think that the experiences I've had in my life would make me a good person to make these decisions.
Right.
And that's what I did about it.
Right.
And when I meet with the UF students, I've got about 12 of them working for me now. In the spring, I had 40 working for me. But these are all young, 18 to 21-year-olds who think that they can do something to make a difference. And a lot of people are telling them that they can't. A lot of social media is telling them they can't. And so when I started, they started coming to my events to train them and get them engaged with this is what we're going to be doing as a team. They were kind of like waiting. Like, what do you got to say, man? Old man, what do you got to say? And it hit me really hard at the first one of these that I had. I was like, they're expecting something from me that I wasn't prepared. So it realized like, remember that professor I was telling you about that led me?
Yeah.
I'm that guy to these people.
Right.
Oh shit. So
That's a lot. It's a lot.
in the
It's a
middle,
lot.
one of the things you get good at as a trial lawyer is thinking while you're talking. So I'm saying words and my brain is like, you're not saying the right words. You need to say something inspiring to these people. And so I just pivoted and said, in 10 years, we need you to do this. Like you're 21 now, but in 10 years, you're gonna be 31 and I'm gonna be done. Somebody else is going to be done. And we need somebody good to step up, somebody who's got a good heart and a good head to step up. And everybody's going to tell you you're crazy and
Yeah.
that you shouldn't do it or that's not going to work.
Right.
But we're doing this together so that number one, you can see, look how many people will support you. Number two, how do you do this? Like we're literally learning how to put a grassroots campaign together. And we're building relationships and we're working. So this is your training ground for when it's your turn.
Right.
And so for me, that's been another like kind of side quest of the whole thing is.
Okay.
What I would say to that is kids tend to push you.
They do.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They do.
I totally can relate to what you're saying. Like I said, I got mine here today with me
Yeah.
too. But outside of that, in my research of you, I did hear a lot about the groundwork that you've been doing.
For sure.
Talk to me more about why is that so important to you? The actual groundwork that you're putting in.
Sure. And so I'll tell you right now that there's only one other local candidate for any other office who's out fundraised me. There's no other local candidate that I'm aware of who's ever knocked on as many doors as we have. This morning, we are almost at 17,000 in the county. If you look at a map of the city of Gainesville, we've knocked on almost every neighborhood. I was knocking in Holly Heights with your mom. My team was knocking in Hale Plantation. You know, like where I was knocking in Lincoln Estates, and I was knocking in Tioga. You know, I'm everywhere. You name it, we've knocked there, we've been there. And it's because I want to, number one, have people know who I am. But number two, I want to know who they are.
Right.
One of the things I said to on another podcast that I was on was, do you know how many neighborhoods I've been to where people don't have their air on right now?
He was everywhere.
I try to be. But
How many neighborhoods you been in? There's no air.
a lot.
What do you mean? There's
People
no
don't have their
AC?
air on because
What do you mean
they
they don't have
can't
their air on?
they can't afford it.
They can't
or it's not working.
afford it.
He telling the truth.
It's hot.
But it blew my mind in our own community.
Nah, that's what's going on.
Like these are our neighbors, and so for me, it's like you see that you're like, oh my god, like I couldn't even imagine not
Having your AC on in
Right.
this heat.
that. Also, I took him, so he and I were knocking in Archer a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
That's my son over there. Daniel, come on over here. I'm gonna get him on the mic. So Daniel, come on.
He's so cute. He's just like,
So
okay, Dad.
here. So get on the mic here. So where we're knocking in Archer, remember?
Tell them to stay behind right there.
No, you don't want to be on the camera? No. Okay, well just sorry, you can go sit back here.
You can say what you want to say from over there.
That's
We can
okay.
hear you.
It was a very poor neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we pulled up. It looked like third world country.
Right.
You know?
The quarters? That's what they call
Hey,
it.
Archer?
Yeah,
out in Archer.
It might be, bro.
Might be the
It
quarters.
might have been.
Oh, my Lord.
And you know that's
No.
I'm not sure what it was called, but it looked rough. And so we pulled up, and look, like I've done a lot of these, you know, neighborhoods of all types, but at the same
Yeah.
time, you kind of pull up to certain ones, you're like,
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so I said to him, I go, maybe we should leave.
No.
And I look at we have an app that tells us where to go. And I said, but Daniel, this first house has 4 super voters. Like we're only knocking on super voters' doors, people who vote always.
Right.
Okay.
I was like, but there's 4 voters in that house. So we knocked on the door and they were cool. And then we knocked on the next door and they were cool. And the next door and they were cool. And it was like, okay. So we moved on. The next neighborhood we were in that day, I won't name it, but it was farther east on Archer Road,
Right.
a nice neighborhood. And a lady comes out. She's like, excuse me, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And it's me and my son. You see him. He's not very intimidating. Neither am I.
Right.
And we're both wearing shirts that say exactly what we're doing.
yeah.
I was like, oh, we're not. We're just knocking on doors, meeting voters. You're not on our list. You know? But she gave us a hard time.
Yeah.
And there's the difference is crazy.
Yeah. And so as we were leaving, I'm saying to him, I was like, which neighborhood was
Yeah.
nicer?
Right.
Which neighborhood was cooler?
Right.
Or who was nice to us?
Right. And you would think the way that we're perceived, that it would be the other way around.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And no, Auntie gonna make sure you good. You need some water. You straight.
Yep.
You hungry. You thirsty. Auntie, it's always an auntie. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And you go into these other neighborhoods, and it's like they don't treat you the same.
I will tell you that people have been shocked that I'm there in some places. They're like, nobody's ever come here before.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, here I am.
Right. And you're being welcomed.
Yeah.
As you should be, because that's what we are.
So I threw a number out just to
Yeah.
be hyperbole. I said 10,000 doors is how many doors I want to knock. We're at 17. You know, then I was like, well, what can we do that's bigger than 10,000? I was like, what if I knock in every precinct? There's 63 precincts in the county, right? So
Police precincts?
voting precincts.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wherever your neighborhood is, there's a place on election day where you have to go.
Okay.
That's
Right.
your
Yeah,
precinct,
yeah,
right?
Right.
Did you like Melrose has 2 blocks in Alachua County? Like that's like a half hour east, you know? Cross Creek is in Alachua County. I didn't know that. It's like I went to these neighborhoods that none of us ever go to. Let's be real. None of us ever go to.
Right.
And people were shocked. They're like, what are nobody's ever come here before. And so keep in mind
You
there's
get a postcard in the mail. Vote for me.
exactly. But keep in mind there's hundreds, if not thousands of voters in some of these places.
Right.
And so why not go talk to them? Why not go
Right.
reach out to them?
Right.
And so what I would say is this, on an average shift, which for me is about 2 to 2.5 hours, because right now it's just so hot, you can only do so much.
Valid.
I maybe hit 75 doors in that window per shift myself. One person always is like, no thanks, not interested. Other than that, everybody else is cool.
Right.
Everybody else is like, oh, thanks for coming. Or they'll just politely take the card, listen to what I have to say, and then say thank you, close the door. Maybe 3 or 4 each shift will want to have a nice conversation. Like the people I told you, I talked to them for 20 minutes on their doorstep.
Wow. The family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, it's a weird thing to do. to just randomly go around knocking on people's doors like for 7 months. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do on August 19th, you know, win or lose. Like, I told my wife, I was like,
No more doors.
I might just go knock
No
on
more
some-
locked doors.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
Next Friday.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm
no,
sorry.
you're good. It took a while to get over it because it's very unsettling to go up to a bunch of strangers' doors. You get in a rhythm with it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get one good one, you're like, okay, here we go. Let's get another good one. But there's that moment after you knock where you're just waiting. And I always take like 5 steps back so I'm not like standing right on their door.
Right.
And you're just waiting, hoping to hear that door unlock. And when it does, the first 10 seconds, you're just like, you don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
It might be somebody who's really mad.
It's like cold calling.
I've got people who aren't wearing all their clothes sometimes. You know, it's like you never know what you're going to get.
Right. Because you
And-
come into their house. Like,
Right, right.
Right.
But the overwhelming majority of it has been positive.
Right.
And I think if it wasn't, I'd be absolutely insane to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But beyond that, and I talk a lot, so please, if you need to just be like, stop.
You good, man.
You good. We here. We here.
Beyond that, it's not just that. It's like, I want to have the best funded campaign. I want to have the best ground team campaign. I want to have the best signs. Like I had an artist, my artist friend made my signs. So like I wanted
Talking
them.
his language now.
Right.
That's his
I
thing
told him,
right
I want him to look like a 1960s European soccer jersey. Like, I don't
And
know.
that's
like-
exactly what that
Right?
looks like. That looks like something that
Yeah.
throwback,
Yeah,
retro.
exactly.
It's exactly what
Exactly.
it looks like.
I was like, I want it to be red, white, and blue. Like, I don't want to go like, we're not trying to get experimental with colors. Like, this is
Right.
Like, let's go.
Right.
So I wanted every aspect, and this comes from we were in a band when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I just was telling you before we started, I did all the business for the band.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made
What you play? What you play?
I play bass.
You play bass? You give me bass. He gives me bass player. Okay, go ahead.
My son's a drummer.
Yeah, you're a drummer.
But
Okay.
when we were a band, you had to have the best shirts. You had to play you had to put good shows together, right?
Right.
You got to play a good night. You're not playing
Right.
on Tuesday night.
Right.
No,
Right.
you're going to play the best Friday night of the weekend.
Right.
You're not going to
Right.
compete with Florida Georgia game. You know,
Absolutely not.
Straight up.
Absolutely not.
You want your website to be tight.
Yeah.
Compete with what's the weekend that we went up?
I forget. I forget. Williston or Waldo.
Yeah, we not
Something
competing
like
with
that.
no weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't nobody coming.
So that was my job in the band, was that you figure out, how do we brand ourselves? How do we get ourselves out there? How do we make people like us, like our music? Like
Right.
let's play a show, but how are we going to be different than the other bands?
Right.
You know, can we bring some lights, or, you know, can we do something that's none of these other bands tonight are doing? It's the same skill set. I got my first quote for videos, website, graphic design, et cetera, right out of the gate when I started this. They wanted $6,500.
That sounds about right.
I was like, I'll just do it all myself.
Right.
So I did them all myself because that's what I did with the band.
Right.
And I farmed out a lot of stuff since because I don't want to run digital ads myself and all that world. But
But you got to experience the learning curve.
right,
It's a learning
and
curve.
it's the same skill set.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's just from do-it-yourself DIY music.
Right.
Music.
Right.
You know, you were talking about your label a minute ago. It's like same stuff.
Right.
For sure. So listen, we're gonna take a break.
Ooh.
We got our guest today, Mr. Eric Atria.
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 And we'll be right back, y'all.
All right. I do it for my city.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, it's Rook, man. You know I'm back, man. I do it for my city. Check in, man. Shout out to D. Hey, to lock in your spot today, DM me with the deposit and we get it rolling. But hey, I'm doing anything from long-term interviews, long-term podcasts, short-term interviews. I'm doing everything. Anything y'all asking, I got it. So to lock in your spot now, DM me with the deposit and we get it rolling. But hey, you see where we at though. I gotta let y'all know where I'm from. West Palm Beach 561 represent, man. You know what's up. So to lock in your spot, DM me, like I said, with the deposit, we're gonna get it rolling.
In a world full of noise, clarity is everything. And Evan Melville knows just that. From the sound of the streets to the top of the charts, he's engineered it all. 21 Savage, Gucci Mane, Summer Walker, ATL Jacob, Boss Man D-Lo, Young Nudie, and the list goes on. Need that industry-ready sound? Tap in with Evan Melville. Book your session today. evanmelville.com. The clarity speaks volumes. The sound speaks for itself.
I'm Eric Atria, and for the past 20 years, I've dedicated my career to public defense. But in 2022, that almost ended.
It was an ugly court appearance with the defendant attacking his attorney.
Instead of becoming a bitter person, I chose to become a better person. I realized I needed to give back to my community as much as possible. I realized I could inspire the next generation of lawyers. I found there was no shortage of ways to serve my community. And now I'm running for county judge. Join me and support me in my run for Alachua County judge.
And we're back. Thank y'all for coming back to I Do It For My City. Again, I am Ronnie Works. These are my co-hosts. We are sitting here with, I'm going to mess up your name. I'm really bad with names. I'm just going to call you by your first name. We're here with Mr. Eric. Again, he is running for misdemeanor.
Alachua County judge.
And Alachua County judge.
Yeah.
Here in particular, Gainesville, of course, Alachua County judge. My co-host Drilla, I'm gonna let him take it over at this point because he's ready. He got some questions. I know he's been in the system once or twice or maybe 3 times. And so he definitely just wants to know. Yeah. He can vote now. You're voting this time?
It depends. I don't really do the politicking.
You don't do the politicking?
Nah, but
most of us don't.
Have you talked to his mom? Have you talked to his mom?
Oh, we love his mom.
She's gonna yell at you for that.
She is like
she might, but mama
she all our mamas at this point.
I am too. So
yeah, that's mama.
But at the end of the day, so the case that you got attacked in,
Yeah.
what were the basis for him doing that, or what do you think led to that point?
Sure. So this is all stuff that has been confirmed through jail calls that the state intercepted. There's other just obvious theories and whatnot. So it's not just conjecture. It's not just me making up a theory or anything. I'm not revealing any confidences. This is all stuff that was publicly revealed through his trial.
All right.
Because he went to trial for it. So this is a guy who he had committed 4 armed robberies in 2018. Or attempted armed robberies. Okay. He's arrested. He's a prison release reoffender or a habitual felony offender or something that basically made it that he's now facing life in prison. He was likely to get life in prison. And so as his cases were progressing, he did, and I didn't have anything to do with the cases, he was doing various things to stall. There's a philosophy that I don't quite understand, but I've witnessed a million times where somebody would rather sit at 3333 Northeast 39th Avenue, the county jail, indefinitely awaiting trial, as opposed to on the tail end of a life sentence up the road. There's something about, I don't know what, it's the uncertainty as opposed to the finality, perhaps?
I would assume so.
So he was doing things, his case was delayed 4 years through different techniques that he was doing.
Right.
I was appointed he tried to represent himself at one point, and he mistried the case. And the judge said, I'm going to appoint Atria.
Okay.
This is August of 2022. I'm going to appoint Atria to your case, whether you want him or not. And if you keep doing what you've been doing, I'm just going to have you not be allowed to appear in the courtroom, and Atria is just going to try the case without you. So how do you solve that problem? You remove Atria from the courtroom. So if you watch the videos of because we had a security meeting after this all happened to see kind of how it played out and what they missed. So during jury selection, I do this, the way that the Alachua County Courthouse is set up, I'm sitting at my counsel table and the jury's over here, and there's a podium, and the podium always blocks juror number 2. And so what I do every time when they kind of go down the row and they say the name out loud, I will do this so that I can make eye contact with juror number 2, because I don't want juror number 2 sitting there not knowing who I was.
Right.
Okay.
So I did that. It's something I do habitually. So did he. So he rolled his chair back. I guess he saw an opportunity. I'm not sure what. But then he stayed back there. And so at a certain point, you could see me look at him and say, come on, get back up to the table.
Yeah.
But he was such a handful that I was kind of ignoring him. Like I had to defend him. I had to make sure that I was paying attention to everything. He was trying to distract me. The way I described it was I'm driving a car down the highway, at 120 miles an hour, and he's slapping my hands on the steering wheel, and I'm trying to ignore him and stay focused.
Right.
Okay.
So at a certain point, he starts squeaking his chair. And he looks at the bailiff and says, can I change my chair out? And so he gets up. I'm not going to do it because I'll step away from the mic. And he picks his chair up into the air and moves it, and then picks up another chair, moves it through the air, like as if he's just switching these two chairs out.
Right.
But in my mind, in retrospect, what can I get away with? So now he's learned I can move around, I can pick up objects, weapons. At another point, the guard had a water bottle, like a metal water bottle, and the defendant knocks it over and picks it up and goes, sorry. So again, can he pick up weapons? He's feeling out. He's testing the waters of what he's going to be allowed to do.
Yeah.
So throughout that jury selection, he was basically proving to himself he could get away with anything. And so the next morning we're in trial, and similarly, he kind of does that. Puts himself in my blind spot. And if you watch the whole video, they call the second witness. And as the second witness is taking the stand, the last thing I remember hearing was raise your right hand and face the clerk. But you can see him. He looks left, he looks right, and he does like he puts his whole body inside.
I seen that. He put his whole, I'm talking about all his body weight in your chin.
One of my friends said that he reached back into Gilchrist County to hit me.
He did. No shame.
If you watch it, the second he took 2 shots, the second one missed. The second one just like grazed my, he did a 1-2.
Okay.
So I was
I seen that.
I was
Did
knocked
1-2.
unconscious instantly.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it.
Right.
Seen that.
And so the chair I was in had wheels, and it wheeled to the right. And luckily, I didn't hit the table. It went right between the 2 tables, but I face planted on the floor, which is this floor with like that much, 1/8 inch of carpet on it.
Right.
I just wake up on the floor, and I didn't know I thought I had a heart attack.
Oh my
So I couldn't think of what else would explain why am I on the floor?
Right.
So I look up, it felt like light. I don't know how to describe it other than it felt like lightning hit me. Like it was just like radiation and electricity and
Heat.
Yeah, and I could tell something was really wrong with my head. And I see the bailiff. Like it's kind of like an old cartoon where like all the people are like leaning over somebody on the ground, And I said, "What happened?" And the bailiff goes, "He hit you." And I go, "Who hit me?" She goes, "Your client." And so I see the judge, and I go, "Judge, I move to withdraw," which is a joke.
Yeah.
Usually gets a laugh. But, I thought it was a really funny joke. But,
He took it serious.
But
nobody laughed.
because clearly,
Yeah.
But you were withdrawn from that case immediately.
Well, of course. But so the point is, so I sit up, and you've heard people be like, "Hey, who's the president? You got a concussion or whatever."
Right. What's today's date?
Yeah. So the state attorney, who's a friend of mine, he goes, "Eric, who's the president?" It's 2022. I go, "Barack Obama." And I know it's wrong. And so I start laughing because it's funny to me. What everybody in the courtroom has seen is a guy who doesn't know who the president is by like 2 presidents is laughing. And then I fell down because you have these things in your head that help your balance. And he literally knocked them out. Like I had to go to a physical therapist to put them back. So I didn't have balance. Like, so everybody was legitimately worried.
Yeah.
And so I was in shock. If anybody's ever had a head trauma or something serious, like a car accident, maybe you've been in shock. It's nothing I've ever experienced before. But you can't feel fear or panic or any of those type of emotions. Your body is protecting you from it. So I'm in the back of the ambulance, and the ambulance driver's calling in these codes. And he's like, chest, cabrusion, contusion, code 7. And I'm like, 7, that sounds bad. And then he's like, there's blood coming out of his left ear, code 3. And I'm like, 3? Is 3 better or worse than 7? So in my head, I'm like, what's worse? What's better?
Am I dying?
But what happened? They thought my brain was bleeding.
Damn.
Because there was blood coming out of my ear. And that's really bad. That's what I've been told. So they wheeled me right in. And what I've learned since, because I've met some firefighters afterwards, is that those codes took a whole staff, specialized staff from wherever they were in that hospital and put them in a room to wait for me to get there. Because I went right in and they were immediately just like this and that. And so, so as I'm laying there, I keep thinking this. The way I was phrasing it was like karma, So I was like, what karmic justice brought this on me? Like, this is serious, right? This probably isn't good. And so as they're working on me, this thought comes to me. It's kind of like a voice. And I'm not exaggerating anyway. This happens. this voice came to me and said, well, maybe your karmic justice is that you're going to be okay.
He's not.
And that was powerful. You know, it was something that like, you know, people tell me, oh, that was God talking to you, or whoever was talking to me, like it was somebody talking to me. You know what I mean? And so what happened was, as all these people are working on me, everybody kept clearing me for whatever their specialty was. It wasn't my brain. I had a cut in my ear, you know. I had a fracture right here in my skull, but it was going to heal itself. You know, my jaw wasn't broken. I don't know how.
Right.
This tooth had like a piece chipped off, but it wasn't like damaged to the extent that they needed to do anything immediately. So all these specialists are now leaving. And it's just me, my wife, and the nurse now. This is hours later. And it's like, the nurse is like, we're going to discharge you.
So you went home that night?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so think about like that voice, like, I heard it and now it's manifesting itself. And I was like, I was just blown away. Like just, and then listen to this. The nurse goes, do you know, I was on this jury pool yesterday.
Get out. The nurse was on the jury pool.
And I said, I didn't
have jury duty for that particular. Get out.
I go, I didn't see you in there. She goes, they had us in a different room. They wouldn't tell us why. And I said, I know why. Because they knew he was going to do something. And they wanted to keep fresh jurors just in case.
That's crazy word, man.
Isn't that wild?
And how you know he was going to do something based on his
Everybody
actions
suspected that he was going to do something.
Just because of how he was prolonging his
They didn't
case.
think he was going to do what he did, but everybody expected him to do something.
It was going to be something.
Exactly.
So what happened to this particular person after all this?
So I'll get to that in a second. Let me just wrap this up. So
Go ahead.
The way so coming out of it, two things. Number one,
you got a law, right? You made
I did. That's a separate thing. But I remember coming home, and my son can probably tell you his version of it. But it hit me so hard, pun intended, that I got knocked unconscious. What if I didn't wake up? I would have never known that was it.
Oh my God! That's
Right?
valid.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about you, but I always assumed that I would perceive death if but for a second.
Yeah.
You know, oh, here's that other car. You know, like, you know what I mean? Or like some drawn out thing. I never expected that the lights could just go off and you'd never even know.
Oh, yeah.
And that like I would have never seen him again.
Wow.
Sorry. Every time I say it, it hits me. So coming out of it, somebody said, sue the sheriff. They didn't protect you. And so the problem with that is I didn't have any damages. Like my insurance covered everything. Like I had no pain and suffering.
You just walked away like nothing happened.
I didn't have any bills. Right. So it would have to be abstract. It would have to be pain and suffering.
Right.
Which I would have to put on.
Right.
Because I felt good. I felt like I got a free pass here. And so I didn't want to adopt pain and suffering for a little bit of money.
Right.
And so I just said, I'm not, like I didn't go forward with it. I would rather be good and happy and positive coming out of this than engaged in legal nonsense for 2-3 years.
Right.
Because I don't have PTSD from it because I didn't experience it. It's my theory. But I would rather just be, hey, that was great that I'm here still. like, what can I do now every single day that makes it count?
Right.
Yeah.
And so some days you got to go run your errands. Like you may not be able to make a difference in the world that day, but you could be nice to the lady at the cash register, or you could help somebody get the thing off the top shelf, or you could do little things. But to me, the big takeaway was I better make the most out of phase 2, which is what's coming now. And so then the legislature saw it and took up the law, which I was the face of that law. And so I spoke in front of the Florida legislature like 8 times. And whether you like the Florida legislature or not, like to be part of the process was super amazing. Like it was surreal.
Right.
To be in the halls and like seeing all like how it really works and all that.
So can you kind of, because for those who don't know what the law is, can you kind of give us a little?
There was already a law. If I were to commit a battery upon anybody in that courtroom, the judge, the bailiff, the clerk, the jurors, the state attorney, it would enhance the penalty. But we, the defense attorneys, were not in that law. And there's many reasons for that, mostly because the defense bar doesn't want to advocate for harsher penalties for anything. It's a political move.
Right.
That's understandable.
Right.
But this was it's extreme enough that it moved forward and nobody opposed it. It passed unanimously.
Wow. Okay.
So imagine in today's day and age, something passing unanimously. So going through that experience, I was like, wow, that was super cool. And maybe serving the community in a higher capacity could be my path. But I didn't think that the Florida legislature would be a fun path. Like, I don't want to be in that environment. And then what happened was right after that, the 2 judges retired. I was like, oh, well, that's just like a sidestep. I know a courtroom really well.
Right.
Maybe this could be a way. And then when that didn't happen, I was like, well, then I'm just going to run. And then as a part of running, I said, I'm all about living on a path of progress.
Right.
Right.
So if you set a finite goal on it, that's not a path anymore. Right. So this is just, I've realized this is just a step on the path.
Right.
And whether I win or lose, I'm still on that path.
Right.
And if the goal is becoming a more engaged, helpful, contributing person of the community, that's an endless goal, right?
Right.
You could do that in any possible way.
Right.
And so by getting engaged in all these different civic groups, or, I joined a couple different boards of different nonprofits, and ways to just help in a measurable way in the community, like that's infinitely rewarding. And so I think that has been my biggest win for all of this, is just finding a way to become more engaged. And then that's another thing that I share with all the students that I work with, is like, hey, you want to make a difference? Here's some concrete ways how to do it.
Gotcha.
So when this happened, you saying what part of the trial was this? This wasn't like the actual verdict being read.
It was in trial, yeah. So
First day of trial.
We did opening statements. The first witness, and then this was the second witness. For whatever reason, that was the time he chose.
So there was no really no particular reason as to why he did this.
Correct.
He did this to just deter or to slow down.
Correct.
His potential life sentence that he knew that he was potentially gaining.
Exactly. It kind of became like that was his mission. Wasn't to win. Wasn't to work. I could tell you this: the state offered him 5 years that morning. He had already done 4.
Stupid ass.
So wait. Hold up.
Stupid ass.
So he could have got 5 years and he's already did 4. So he could have got out in a year facing a life sentence, and he decided to do what he did to you in court.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
So he got
I'm sorry, but I know you went here.
wait.
I know he here. But
Wait,
get the
he finna
fuck
give him
out.
some football. No, what did he say, 30?
He said life.
No, for hitting me, he got 30.
Ooh. So what did he get ultimately altogether?
For the trial that I was trying to try, the next lawyer who tried the case, he got 15 more for that. And then the state dropped everything else. They felt he was 47, I think. So he ended up with 45 years. And I think at that point, the state was just like,
And they offered him 5.
yeah.
Get the
Stupid
hell.
ass. That's crazy.
That
man.
is. I'm sorry, but I don't mean to speak
Well,
on,
at the
but
end of the day, he did what he did.
so he got 47, 45. Yeah. Ooh, Jesus. And he could have got 5.
He's a
Off in one.
dumbass.
Out in one.
That's crazy. Okay.
Out in one.
I got a question. Like,
yeah.
why when you get arrested, you don't really, okay, say you get arrested and you go to court. The charges that you've been arrested for, that's not what you're being judged on.
What do you
it's
mean?
really your past, your
That's
history.
part of it, yeah.
Why is that?
Because that's, I once had a client call his record his resume.
Get the
That's
hell.
what it is. He didn't mean it that way. The way that Florida's punishment code works is that your history goes on the score sheet. You may know the score
Right.
sheet.
I was going to ask you about
Right,
that. So
right.
what keeps you county line and what sends you to prison, like on the scoring chart?
44 plus points. You have to have more than 44 points. So, I mean, here's the reality of it though. So we're getting pretty technical here, but if you're above 22 points on any felony, you can get up to the max. And so that gets to your point that we were talking about during the break, or over there we were talking about, was like post-trial, if you go to trial and lose, the state no longer controls what your sentence is. It's now on the
facts.
judge.
Right.
Right.
And people are always shocked to learn what they could get. It's like the state offered you 24 months. You turned it down on a 3rd degree felony. You went to trial, you lost, you got 5 years. If it's the wrong judge.
Right.
That's fully within the law.
Right.
There's nothing illegal about that. Is it fair? I'm not saying it's fair or not. I don't know the facts of that hypothetical I'm throwing out there, but
Right.
this is one of the other reasons why it was time for me to move away from public defense, is that my last year, I had 6 trials. 1 won, The other 5 were guilty as sin. Like they're on video with confessions.
Right.
You know,
They just
They
ain't
just
have a
did it.
chance.
You know you did it.
You know,
you
yeah.
know you
right.
going there.
I don't know what the reason we went to trial.
Ain't no fighting. And you should have took the plea. Ain't no fighting this at this point.
And I did the math, and the math on those 5 cases was the offer combined on all 5 cases was something like 4.5 years. But if on each, these are 5 different people.
If they
right?
would have
Right.
took the offer.
If they would have took the plea
If each of those people took the plea, it would have been a total of like 4.5-ish years.
for each one,
Maybe
give or take.
maybe a little more.
So what
And,
did
and
you...
all 5 of them added up, ended up with 85 years in prison.
Get the hell out of here. So,
And it's because they don't listen.
so
to me.
why don't people take the plea? Like this is.
listen.
I
Do
don't
they
know the
feel
answer
like
to
they
that.
can beat
Listen,
it at
listen.
court? Like why?
Sometimes-
What do you got?
If they coming with a plea, they got some shit on you. I'm sorry. If they're coming with a plea, I can put you. Take the
sometimes,
go ahead.
Yeah,
go
let's hear
it's
ahead.
not that.
Okay.
What is it?
I want to know.
It's not, because sometimes it be loopholes that's in the case. Like for it's like, I ain't gonna put that out there.
No, go ahead.
No,
We
hell
here
no.
now. Why you
We ain't
doing
all
that?
'cause
Why not?
nah.
We already
But
here,
anyway,
Trilla.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Okay.
I ain't finna let you
Okay.
do me like that.
Okay.
Let me tell you a quick story. I don't want to interrupt hijack your train of thought. I had a case. I talk about it to this day in all my classes, and I try to share it with clients. You don't get my. I'm not putting you on the spot. My son, who's my hypothetical client, doesn't get all my years of experience because he hasn't witnessed every case I've ever tried. He only lives his own life. He's had maybe 2 or 3 other runs in with the law, so he can't compare him to everything that I have. I'm telling him, but he doesn't trust me because
Right.
You would the public defender.
when you go to jail
Yeah.
and you don't have shoes, they give you those flip-flops.
Right.
We're the flip-flops.
Okay.
See,
You the
the
flumsy.
cheapest shoes from Walmart are better than the
Right.
flip-flops.
Yeah.
Right? So I know who we are. I know what we, and you know what I mean.
Public defender.
My guy is charged with armed carjacking. Okay.
Okay.
The problem is he didn't do it.
Right.
All right.
And so what happened was somebody gets carjacked in the City Hall parking lot on a Monday night at 10:30 in 2009. Okay. It's a black man of average build. That's terrifying, right? Like that's
Right.
that's the suspect.
Ideally.
So what happens is 4 months later, the car shows up. I don't know if you know, I forget the name of it now. Tree Trail Apartments is what it was. It's 15th and 23rd. The car shows up at Tree Trail Apartments. 4 months later.
Oh my.
They go to the property manager who speaks little to no English and they say, whose car is that? And she says, the guy over there. So they go talk, they don't talk to him yet. They know who he is. They put his face in a photo lineup. The victim goes, that's the guy.
4 months later.
4 months later.
You don't necessarily remember who this guy is.
A lot of science and psychology has developed since then. And I now have a friend at the University of Florida, this is his specialty, where he was saying how that identification is crap.
Right.
But a jury is going to believe a victim on an eyewitness identification like 98% of the time. Something insane.
Right.
Anyhow,
Right.
so they put him in the ID, in the photo lineup, he picks him. We then do depositions, all right? I'm speaking to the property manager through a translator, and she's like, I never saw the guy's face, but I saw an average-sized black man get out of the car and walk into this apartment building where the defendant lives. Well, there's 8 apartments in that building. You know, there's like those, it's like
It could be
downstairs is
anybody.
4 in a hallway, upstairs is 4 in a hall.
Yeah. So it could be anybody.
Or he could have just walked right through.
Right.
She never saw his face. She had only seen my client once before. So if I see you today, I might see you at Ward's in a few weeks and be like, are you the guy from the podcast? Like I might remember your glasses, but I might not remember. Like, come on, we all know this. Like there's no way that she said she saw him once before.
Right.
And that's all. She said that the guy had a hoodie on. He never looked at her. And so that's the ID we're working with.
Very vague. Very vague.
It gets better.
Yeah.
My guy was waiting to pick his wife up from work out by the mall. And this is pre-iPhone technology that we have now.
Okay.
But we had cell phone triangulation data proving that his phone was out by the mall during the commission of the crime.
Right.
Because he was waiting to pick his wife up. We proved that she was working that night.
Right.
And then the next morning, he went on a field trip with his son, who was like a junior achiever. And you know who witnessed that? The vice president of Santa Fe College.
Right.
Okay.
So my guy was on the bus at 6 a.m. with his
There's
son.
no way he could have committed this.
So is he carjacking somebody the night before at 10:30?
Absolutely not.
Then going home, okay, get your lunch packed up. Let's go on the bus. You know, like, no way.
Yeah.
So we had the phone calls, the timestamps, the expert proving where his phone was, in addition to the flaws in the identification.
Okay.
Okay. So we go to trial. It's one of the most confident I've ever been, the most what you would call affirmative defenses I've ever had. The morning of jury selection, the state attorney who realizes the flaws in her case says, any offer has to be a felony, has to include DOC. So let's hypothesize that probably 18 months on a grand theft.
Right.
Should he take 18 months on a grand theft?
Hell no.
He's got 3 kids.
Yeah.
He's in barber school. His wife's working.
Right.
He got 25 years.
He got 25 years for a
lost.
crime he did not.
Because we lost.
Wow.
Because the jury didn't believe him. Didn't believe us. I don't know. You never get to hear.
And see, that's the yeah.
So-
You never get to hear what went wrong.
So my dog, okay, so
So I always talk to students, and I wanted to hear your thoughts, but I always ask students, should I have made him plead?
yeah.
He still has 10 more years to do today.
and that is
He would have been out in 2011.
But
telling that
that's
story,
why-
that's a sticky situation.
why we
because
gonna
you
take it to
think
trial.
that you can get off because I didn't commit this
What did I
crime.
do?
But again, you have a juror of your peers who might not, like you said, might not believe you. But here are the timestamps. Common sense says he wasn't in the place of the crime.
Not common sense, evidence.
Right. And that's what you have to have
Valid.
to win a case. Yeah.
Valid.
But even
evidence.
still,
It's not what you
it
know,
doesn't
it's what
always
you can
work.
prove.
Right.
It's what you can prove.
And we
that's-
we don't have to prove anything. We're the defense.
So is he still trying to get appeals? Like what?
They've all been exhausted.
Oh my God. So he has no choice but to sit for the rest
Nah,
of
he
the
got to
10
finish
years.
that out. That's it.
For a crime he did not commit.
It's
And
a
so-
lot of cases like
So it's a lot of cases. And go ahead.
You think that he lost that trial because of what? Just because of the
I know why he lost the trial.
Why he lost the trial.
Let me tell you the other part of the story.
Please tell us.
So he took the stand, which I love putting my clients on the stand. Most people don't.
Yeah.
I think that if you take the stand, people are going to see a human being and they're going to listen to you. You may not be the most suave up there, but I had this one guy. He was, I don't know what the word is these days, but he was special. You know, he had some developmental issues, but he fancied himself a rapper. He was a white guy too. But when he took the stand, he told me, I pretended I was in a rap battle with the state. He killed it.
Yeah.
And the jury loved him.
I love that.
But
I love that.
not everybody's. I've been on the stand 3 times from getting hit in the head.
Right.
Somebody stole something from my wife's business, and I was the listed victim. And then, actually, I've been on it more than that. And then we have sometimes these hearings that are called 3850s, where the defendant is now in prison saying that it was my fault. So I've been on the stand maybe 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
Somebody who's been in a courtroom for 2 decades.
Yeah.
The first 4 or 5 minutes, your heart is just pounding.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna go up there and mess her up, like, but it's very high pressure. So imagine being the accused and being on the stand. Not everybody can do it. So he got on the stand, and as we're walking him through his day, he started over exaggerating minor details.
Yeah. And that's
And then
all
the state tore him up on cross.
Yeah.
And about walk us through your day.
Yeah.
You know, and because his time frame didn't make a ton of sense.
Right.
And in his mind, I think he thought he was making himself look better.
But in reality,
He looked like a liar.
Right. And that's
Also,
what got him pinched. Yeah.
He was 37 at the time. He had 2 priors from when he was 18. But who cares?
Right.
And so normally you don't talk about the priors. You establish that they happened and you move on. But
because there were flaws in the prosecution, they brought them up.
Well, you bring them up to what's called take the sting away. And you don't normally ask about them, but I decided to do it. I like taking unusual strategies.
Right.
I wanted
Got
the
it.
jury to know this was 20 years ago.
Got it.
I wanted to know that one was a drug offense. Who can't understand an 18-year-old picking up a drug offense? And the other one was a grand theft.
Got it. Okay.
But the grand theft was he got in a disagreement with his job. They fired him. He took some money that he believed they owed him. They had him arrested. I
Okay.
think most people can, I don't want to say understand, but like,
I mean,
it is what it is.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we working class Americans. We get it. Yeah.
Why did you? I know you said you don't mind your clients taking a stand, and I can understand why most attorneys would go the other way. Why did you feel that it would be okay for him to take the stand?
I don't remember. That's a good question. I think maybe it would plug some holes in the story that I was putting out. That's a good question.
Okay.
I also thought that, I don't remember. That's a very good question.
I know you said you was You kind of was agitated with him though. You know, the chemistry that you say he was a lot to deal with, right?
No, that was the guy that hit him.
That's the guy who hit me in the head.
That was the guy that hit him.
Yeah.
This
And
was
I
I love
love
this
this too.
I love this guy.
The white guy that was special. Did he win his?
He won his.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
but this particular client, he got 25 years.
and this is another reason why we lost. So I'm trying to have him explain the grand theft. Why? Explain. What was your first charge for? Again, you're not supposed to do this according to rules. Not rules, but like practices. He's like, I just was 18. I was stupid. I had some drugs in my possession. You know, I pled to it. I was guilty. Most people are probably fine with that.
Right.
Well, what about the grand theft? He said, oh, well, I thought something, I thought something should be mine, so I just took it. And I was like, the worst words you could say when you're being charged with armed carjacking.
You should have.
So it was just a bad choice of words.
Okay. Okay.
I've reread this transcript. Every 4 or 5 years, I go back to see if I can find something to help him. I'm telling this really long story. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Because you could tell that I was getting frustrated with him because he wasn't listening to what I was trying to guide him through. But this is the worst. This pissed me off so much. But the state, was a brilliant lawyer, brilliant prosecutor, really, really good. Probably the best I've ever been up against. But I remember she asked, so the drug charge was a marijuana charge, over 20 grams or something. And he also said that he was in barber school, but that he also produced some hip hop, independent stuff. So the state asked the victim when you got your car back, did you notice anything about it? Yeah, it smelled like marijuana.
Oh my God.
And what else? And she goes, and the bass was turned up.
Oh my God. That's
She literally, I remember I objected to it. And if you read the transcript, there's a certain point when I was like, I can't imagine making this argument to a jury. I was like, and at a certain point, because the judge wasn't going my way, at a certain point I said, you know what? Let her do it. Like, I'm hoping that the jury would see it as insensitive also. But the implication being like, ladies and gentlemen, look at the defendant.
He
and
smokes
the car
marijuana.
smelled like marijuana and has the bass turned up.
Oh my God.
It's a closed case. So
Oh my God.
Now, let me ask you this: like,
Get out of town.
I don't know if that's still attorney-client privilege, but like, what did he say? Why he had the car?
He wasn't in the car. It wasn't. He didn't do
he
it.
didn't have the car.
It was just, but they
He
just got
so
pointed out in
happened. He just the what is it? The community
property
manager.
manager.
the property manager.
Pointed him out. Never seen him one time, and she said, assuming it was his car. And this was after 4 months after
He wasn't
the
in the
car
car.
was stolen. He
There was
wasn't
no
in the
evidence
car.
that he was in the car. No fingerprints.
No proof or nothing. He has 25 years for basically
A car he's
crime
allegedly
he never
using
committed.
for 4 months. His fingerprints aren't in.
Never
Come
committed.
on.
Is basically what he's saying.
So he never had the car.
Right.
Right.
But the owner of the car said the car smelled like marijuana and that the bass was turned up.
Which was
He makes music.
circumstantial evidence that is this guy.
That is insane.
So again, like, should I have made him plead? Like, if I go back in time and I'd be like, hey man, listen, like, I got to save your life here.
Like an executive
I mean,
decision.
But, like,
the lesser evil.
one of my students
The
said
lesser evil.
at the time that was the right decision what we did.
I mean,
With
yeah.
the information we had at that time.
And I agree. And I agree. Did it go
But
the
it
way
hurts.
that it does? And that's the way, and that's that
You feel like
flaw
you could have saved
in
him
our
if you
justice system.
would have stopped him from doing what he did.
But I was encouraging him to go to trial because we had all this evidence.
In your mind,
He
you
didn't
thought
do
you
it.
was going to beat it. But that is the flaw in our justice system. And we know that's the flaw in our justice system. And that's why we don't trust the justice system because of
So
that.
now
You know what I'm saying?
Circumstantive.
Circumstantive? Am I saying that right? Am I saying that right?
Circumstantial.
Circumstantial
So now,
evidence.
if you look back at it now, do you think, like, I don't know, that's a weird case.
That is, but I'm pretty sure you've dealt with plenty of other cases like that. That's not the first case. It might have
That's
been
the
the
worst.
one that probably was the
Yeah.
worst.
That's the worst.
But you've probably experienced similar cases along those lines.
In my mind, I think that if you have a really good case as the defense, it's unlikely to end up at trial.
Okay.
Nah, that's facts.
If he had a really good case as a defense.
Yeah, it's because the state has figured it out also.
Okay. Okay. So what made this? I'm assuming that him being on stand, him making it seem like he was a liar, more or less. What made this case different from those cases? Why did it go to trial to begin with? If we had all this,
Because
evidence?
it's a 10-year minimum mandatory. And they weren't going to back down. They had a victim saying this is the guy.
Okay.
And it's a gun case. Like, you would have needed the state attorney's approval to get anything on that. And I, at that point, didn't have the collateral to go ask for anything like that. I mean, I was like 5 years into my career.
So basically, he got arrested for being a medium, average built black guy.
Exactly.
That's insane.
In an apartment complex where I'm guessing that there's
where
more
there's
than
more
crime-
than
it's a
half
high
of
crime
them are
neighborhood.
that, and half the guys are average built black guys.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It is a scary thing. That is
Crazy.
scary.
Audio cartel shit, baby.
This ain't just a podcast, it's a movement. From the block to the boardroom, I Do It For My City is where stories meet purpose. Now you can rep the culture loud and proud. Introducing official I Do It For My City merch. Hoodies, tees, hats, and more. Designed with heart, built for the hustle. Every piece tells a story. Every stitch a shout out to the people who grind from where they're from. So whether you're repping your hood, your hustle, or your heritage, do it with pride, do it with purpose, do it for your city. Available now only at IDoItForMyCity.com.
They told me do it for the city, so I gotta go and get it. See, I'm focused and committed, live, yeah. And I'ma bring it back with me. If it ain't about money, ain't no sense with it, live, yeah. They told me do it for the city, so I gotta go and get it. See, I'm focused and committed, live, yeah. And I'ma bring it back with me. If it ain't about money, ain't no sense with it, live, yeah. I just wanna see my city shining like a light. We don't know what Maybachs or Lamborghinis feel like.
Then my boy go legit CEOD. I don't know what in the fuck he was doing when he took that picture. What the fuck he thought I was finna do with it when he sent it to me. But hell, here we are. Bro saying he know what that project was gonna be. He just know he wanted to call that motherfucker CEOD unfiltered. So for some reason in my head, that shit mean throw this nigga out the window. Oh shit. Playing out the term, jumping out the window with it, cause that's usually what niggas with no filters do.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you want our audience to know about you, and why should they vote for you?
Well, I'll tell you this. The first time I started going out and telling people I was going to do this, everybody said, you're going to have a hard time convincing anybody to care about a judicial election. And I think we've done the opposite, because it's just one of many ways that people in your community make decisions that affect you. Maybe not right now, maybe not directly, but a county judge is going to oversee everything that the small stuff, the people's court stuff, like landlord-tenant issues, tickets, small claims, like somebody, a handyman does some work for you and steals your money, and like you have to go to the court for that. Like these are the decisions that this role is in charge of. As far as about me is that, if you haven't heard enough from this lengthy conversation, I'm very passionate about what I do, and I think that, and I really care about this community. It's my community too. It's all of our communities, and I think that you have a chance to choose somebody who you want making these decisions, and why you should choose me over, my opponent. The way I've been saying that is, you can ask him that if he comes to sit down with you. And by all means, you're welcome to invite him. I'm not saying you can't, but he hasn't been out and about as much as I have, and to me, I think that is a telltale sign of how hard I'm willing to work to do this job compared to the alternative.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually heard that exact same thing when I did my research. Like, the other guy, he's not really out there like that. And this guy's out here, putting in the work. So
Yeah, you gotta reach the people.
Yeah.
So is this your, and I guess this would be your, is this your final resting? I don't want to say final resting place, but what is this where you see yourself in the next 5-10 years if you were to be elected?
Well, it's a 6-year term.
Okay.
So 6 years, yes.
Okay.
I need to stay engaged with students. Is my big passion. Is that making sure that they see that there's a productive future for them in public service.
Right.
Like you said, there's people. You don't have to do it your whole life.
No.
Not like me and my dad did, but go do it for a couple years. Put your investment back into your community before you can go make your money. That's cool.
Yeah.
But do some pro bono work. Do some public service. Do something in your life so that you've given back.
Right.
Because we take a lot. We're privileged. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I know that I feel like I've lived a privileged life, and if I don't put something back, I just can't accept that.
Right.
But this is a way for you to have a direct choice in who makes these decisions.
Okay. Drilla, you got anything you want to go ahead and whip out there?
No, not really. I mean,
he answered all your...
Yeah, pretty
did?
much, because
Okay,
I be
good.
real heavy on voting.
Because
and all
my
that
dog,
there.
he was like, I needs to know.
Yeah, I be want to know.
I
What
needs to know.
you feel about the marijuana laws and all that there?
So it's a good question. We're not allowed to comment on. So there's very strict rules for judges only and judicial candidates only.
Okay.
Can't comment on other candidates. Can't comment on partisan issues. Can't comment on the issues that may be up for a vote or for a decision.
And that is something that is up for
Right.
vote.
Right. So we're not allowed to comment on those things. The best so people
Legalize marijuana.
when I knock on people's doors and they're like, well, what are you? Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? You know, I'm like, if you can't figure out who I am as a human being from what I put out, I don't know what I could do to tell you that would make you think
Gotcha.
otherwise. So
I
Gotcha.
don't know, man. I'm vibing with you, man. You sound like you for the
You didn't
people.
want my dog over. You didn't want him over because he was like, I need to know, like, what he gonna do for me.
Have me, dog. AT, man.
So when is the election?
Sure.
It's August.
August 7th through 15th is early voting.
Okay.
You can only early vote at certain locations. Go to the Supervisor of Elections website to look for that. August 18th is the actual election, and that's you got to look wherever your precinct is, wherever you're registered.
Okay. Okay. And I'm assuming we.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody want to connect with you, your campaign, your grassroots campaign, how can they get in contact with you?
The website's atriaforalachua.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Atria for Judge. And you can reach out to us through those, or just we create a lot of content. You know, that's one of my big things is just short
Senior content.
short little videos. Just
Yeah.
again, letting you know who I am.
Yeah.
Because again, we can't say like when I'm judge, I'll do this. You're not allowed to say those
Okay,
things. So how do you let
yeah.
somebody know who you are?
Right.
So I make videos trying to explain who I am and what I think about our community and what I can say.
Okay.
So that's where you can find out most of the information is on the social media.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, boss man. All right.
I appreciate you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
And we
man.
thank you for coming.
This was
Yeah.
an experience.
It was
I
an
ain't gonna lie.
experience. I enjoyed this conversation. We had a lot of hot topics.
Yeah.
Just getting to know you
Right.
and you know, this is your passion. Obviously, this is your passion. I feel like you feel as though this is your calling.
I think finding a way to, again, like I said, leave something behind. You know, the last thing I'll say is this. What are people going to say about you? And,
Right.
and maybe this is ego talking, who knows? But what are people going to say about you when you're gone? What did you do?
Right.
And for me, I again, as of that date, in November 2022, 2022, I don't feel like it was enough. I didn't feel like I had done enough. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to do, no matter win or lose, I'm going to do something to keep being engaged in this community as much as I can because
Understood.
I like that.
we have to help each other out
We
there.
do.
I don't know if you've realized this, but if we're not helping each other, we're not going to
Times is
succeed.
hard.
Yeah. And it's in every possible way. Again, like I said, whether it's just being nice to somebody,
Right.
helping somebody out. That's why I did all the pro bono work over the years, is because, hey, people need help in the community and they can't always afford it. And if you
Right.
can step in and help somebody from getting evicted unjustly just because you showed up and put your name in. And last quick anecdote, lady being evicted, she had the money, but she was a day late. Too late, they took her to court.
Oh my.
And you know what they're not going to do is listen to her phone calls or anybody else's. So United Way called me, hey, will you help this lady? Heck yes.
Oh my God, I love
So
that.
I called, they wouldn't answer my calls. I filed a notice of appearance. They backed down immediately.
I love that.
All you got to do is show
I
up.
know that.
Yeah, man.
And I helped that lady.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely
You got my vote,
love that.
Y'all go vote for AT. You heard me? Keep shifting the momentum
Drilla
in our
is endorsing.
community, you heard me?
I'm
And
no
I don't
longer.
even vote. You understand? For
I'm
me,
not
but y'all
longer
go
a
put
Alachua
that
County
thing in,
resident,
man.
so I can no longer vote. I am at the city.
But you know people.
I do know people,
Yeah,
and
man.
I promise you, I will be definitely spreading the word. You know, I brought my friend here, so
Yeah,
here,
man.
like we are
Y'all go
definitely
vote, man.
Yeah,
Go
go on
vote.
vote. I am a voting advocate because that's how we change things. And if you're not outside voting, and you can't complain about what's going on because you didn't go outside and you didn't vote.
Right.
So you can stand outside for them Jordans, and you can stand outside for everything else. You need to be voting. I promise you need to be voting because at this point in time, like the power is in the votes.
Yeah,
and I
man.
hate to say that because people feel as though our voices don't matter, but they matter. They
from
matter.
what I
And if
understand.
you don't utilize and scratch and use your voice, if you're not using your vocal cords, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it. They're gonna take it away from us. We gotta make sure we get at them. We make sure that we vote. That is the one thing that we have to do. is vote. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to go out this August and vote.
Put them votes in.
15th,
Please
right?
put them votes in.
August 18th.
August 18th.
And
man.
we gonna have this. Hopefully, we had this
Shipping
out
them
before
over
then.
there.
It'll be out before.
Better be out before then.
Right. Otherwise, why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? Please go out and vote. Make sure that your voice is heard. If you don't do nothing else in this lifetime, make sure that your voice, your presence, everything that they hear you.
Yeah, man.
I promise you, they do. I promise you.
Especially if you from the city.
If you from the city, it's more.
You know how these judges be,
They
man.
call us the minority, but we really the majority. So y'all need to get out there and vote.
Come on vacation
That's
and leave
it.
on probation.
All right,
say
you
gonna
don't want to do
shift
that's
them
for
over there,
Florida. That's
man.
Florida. Florida, you literally come on vacation.
But nah, man.
They don't play.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, bro.
I appreciate you.
But
You got my vote for sure.
it's been a pleasure again. Boss man, do you have anything else you want to say?
Nah, just like he said, make sure he vote and everybody support. I do it for my city.
Yes.
Follow us, subscribe, subscribe, all that
comment.
shit.
What you say, Driller? What's your?
You gotta scribe, man.
You gotta scribe.
That's it.
Scribe.
Yeah, for sure.
Scribe. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. I do it for my city. We are out. Peace.
The hottest place for new artists. The hardest to build a buzz online and in the streets is I Do It For My City, the platform. It's I Do It For My City. We do in-studio performances, live freestyles, artist showcases, and interviews conducted by I Do It For My City, the podcast. If you need motion, we got motion for yo on the I Do It For My City platform. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Or email I Do It, the number 4, mycity@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Straight out the trap in the trenches. Fresh off a bit doing business. I took the show on the road. Yeah, road to the ring. I'm going hard cause I want it all. 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 I got the wave.
Blowing money fast, whole lot of cash. Hit the stove and we get that shit right back. Blowing money fast, flip phone ringing and we got the jewels knocking. Whole lot of traffic and we heard the feds watching. Whole lot of work.
Make you a superstar. We can get it, I'm a skinny kid, I'm coming from the city. Looking at you, I can see what you niggas, a lot of you soft and really ain't living that shit that you talk. I hang with fellas, ain't nobody telling, cause where I'm from, we do not fuck with the low. But, hold another.
We beat them jits, nigga, from the 3. 5-2, EPK, who we be?
I feel like you like
pterodactyls. We got old birds, I gotta go and risk, I could whip it Goldberg. Hit the highway.
who run the city, let me set the record straight. Let me set the record straight.
For a bit, bro, wristwatch. Racing through the streets, catch a sir, that's a pit stop. Scramble below the bird.
Tired of you, you make a bitch wanna fight.
We done blew up by the pound, pass a bus around. Can't fit the liquor.
5 a.m. in the trap.